Hi sparkly beings, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be day number 2 of the chakra sequences. Today is the Sacral Chakra. It is very beginner friendly, so is the root chakra one. So if you haven't done that one yet, just know that it's very beginner friendly. And they're kind of similar in ways. The postures that we're rendering are close because your root chakra is your base of your spine, and then the next is right where your sexual organs are and your hips are, essentially in your body. So they're very close together, which means that they're both going to be influenced by similar postures. The first one is grounding and foundation, and the next one is just kind of opening up that space. And the sacral chakra is for your creativity, your fluidity in life, your sexual energy. If you're feeling a little stuck, then that would be probably an ideal chakra to focus on, is just kind of how to recreate your creativity, your imagination, your desires, things like that. Also, if you have any intentions that you want to bring, creative intentions to the class, then go ahead and set that intention now as we go forward to the session. So whenever you're ready, join me on your mat. Begin with me at the top of your mat. Go ahead and roll your shoulders down and back, just in a nice, easy standing position. Gently rocked from the front to the back on your heels and your toes, just to get the sensation of the earth beneath you. Get yourself a little grounded before we begin. Inhale both arms out and up, and gaze up. As you exhale, press the air away, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, arms all the way out and up to gaze up. Exhale, press the air away, chin to chest. Make sure that you're facing the top of your mat. Inhale, both arms out and up to gaze up. On your exhale, this time swan dive, flat back, all the way down, palms to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins. Exhale, press your palms to the mat to step it back for your plank. Inhale here, option to lower your knees or not for chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and raise your hips up and back for your down dog. As it's our first down dog, let's be sure to walk it out. Really stretch into the backs of your knees and your hamstrings. Get nice and grounded. All 10 fingers, all 10 toes, pressing into the earth beneath you. And on our next inhale, you're going to raise your right leg up and back for three-legged dog. And on your exhale, you're going to draw it through to your chest and place it between both hands in the front. Low lunge. Mindfully lower your left knee to the mat and untuck your back toes. As we inhale, press through your front heel and come into your low crescent. So here I want you to really press your knee into the ground and feel that extension through this hip flexor. You can have your hands on your hips, or you can have your arms up, rotating your pinkies in to create space. I personally like steeple. Steeple is your fingers are together. Inhale to lengthen, and on your exhale, gently lean to the right to really increase that stretch in that hip. And just breathing into the space here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hinge forward and guide your palms to the mat. As you inhale here, exhale and bend into your left knee and extend long through your right leg. Toes can be flexed or pointed here, whatever is more comfortable for you. If you point your toes, then you're going to get a little bit more of a stretch in the top of your foot and your shin. And if you flex your foot, then you get a little bit more of a stretch in your hamstring and right where it connects to that glute in the back. So we're just moving all the tissue in our hip area, as that's the chakra we're dealing with today. the sacral chakra, your chakra of creativity, longevity, sexual energy. Bend into your front knee. Tuck your back toes, lift your left knee, and step back to your plank. Inhale here, exhale, chaturanga, knees or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and raise your hips up and back for down dog. And just breathe it out here. Really press your heels into the ground. Press your palms into the ground. Lengthening through your spine. Inhale, raise your left leg up and back for three-legged dog. And as you exhale, guide it through towards your chest and place it between both hands for a low lunge. Mindfully lower your right knee to the mat and untuck your right toes. Inhale here and press into your left heel to rise. So options here, you can draw your pinkies in towards one another to create space in your shoulders, or you can do steeple. Once again, you really want to think about pressing your knee into the mat to really feel that tension and that stretch in the hip flexor there. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, drift your body towards the left to create more of a stretch in your hip flexor. Just breathing into that space. So both being grounded and open at the same time. Opening up that creative space. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press your palms to the mat. Inhale here and shift on your exhale into your right knee. Bend your right knee and extend through your left leg. Once again, option to point your toes or have them flexed. Or you can do both. You can start with pointed and then end with flexed. Just breathing into that space. Maybe flex your toes now. Getting a lot of movement into your hip joints. Generally they're quite stiff because the average person tends to sit quite a bit. So this is an opportunity to really open that space up. Be a little less of a box. All right, inhale here, exhale, bend through your front knee, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and press it back for your plank. Inhale here, exhale, chaturanga, knees or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Just breathing it out here. Once again, nice and grounded, option to walk. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Next inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. So inhale here. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine and rotate out into your warrior two. Get nice and rooted. Really bend through the front knee and lengthen through the back leg. Press the inside of your left foot onto the mat. And just hold it here, gaze over your left, your right middle fingers. And on our next inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, rotate your hips towards the front and 45-degree angle your foot out diagonally from you for warrior one. Once again, option to steeple your hands. Get nice and long here. Really rooting through. Hips are forward like headlights. Inhale here. And on your next exhale, rotate back out to warrior two. And then rotate your back foot in. So now we're in a horse stance or a plie squat. It's also known as goddess pose. Just get nice and rooted here. Really ground through your heels. Your shoulders are drawing down and back. Nice and open in your sides. Inhale here. Exhale, press up through both legs. Hands on your hips. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. And exhale, hinge forward from your hips as if you were a piece of paper being folded. Inhale, exhale, completely lower. Bend through your knees if you need to. And let your head drape down towards the ground. And just breathe into the space. Nice little stretch going on in the hamstrings, the backs of the knees, the calves, the glutes. Inhale to rise. Exhale, come all the way up. Extend both arms out to the sides. And this time rotate your left foot towards the front. Now we're in Warrior Two on the left. Nice and long, grounded to that leg in the back. And heel pressed into the front. Just holding the stance here, shoulders drawn down and back. Navel in, tailbone tucked. Opening your hips here, really focusing on that space. Every posture, there's an opportunity to focus on a different region of your body. So wherever you bring your intention is where you're bringing more benefit to. Inhale here, exhale, rotate to Warrior One. So back foot at a 45-degree angle, diagonal. Bend into your front knee and maybe steeple hands above you. And just opening up your hip, really think about twisting your right hip forward, your left hip back here. And breathe into that space. Shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale back to center, Warrior Two. And on your exhale, rotate your right foot in. Maybe step in a little bit if you need to. I ended up in a bit wider stance than I'd prefer. So now we're back in Goddess. Option to lower down a little bit more. So it's not just about stretching, it's about strengthening as well. The more we can strengthen the muscles, the more range of motion we have, therefore the more flexible we are. Holding it here, inhale, exhale, press it up through the knees. Hands on your hips, rotate your feet forward. Inhale here, gently lean back, and on your exhale, fold only halfway down first. Hold it here. Inhale one more time. Exhale, let yourself drape completely through your legs. Option to bend through your knees. Your head coming down towards the ground. Breathing into that space, breathing into your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press it all the way back up. So, hands now to heart center. Heel, toe, toe, heel, your feet closer together. Heels on the inside, toes on the outside. Lower yourself down into a garland pose. Little squat here. The outside of your elbows are pressed onto the inside of your knees. And really draw your hands towards your heart, your shoulders down and back, away from your ears. Option to have your toes up if your heels are not all the way on the ground. Also option to be sitting on a block here. And a little rock towards the left and a little rock towards the right. And back to center. Place your right palm towards the ground or the mat and inhale your left arm up and back for a nice little twisted squat here. And just breathe into the space, gaze up if that feels good on your neck. Exhale, lower your left palm. Inhale, raise the right towards the sky. Twist the gaze up. And just breathe into that space, really feeling the opening in that hip joint. Letting things move through you. And come back to center. Now keep both palms on the ground and start to walk them forward to guide your knees towards the ground and on your mat. If you're like me and you came up really far, go ahead and walk yourself back to your mat for frog pose. So here, there are a lot of options. You can just stay here and your shins are parallel to one another and your feet are flexed, toes pointed away from each other. You can either stay here, or you can, if you feel comfortable and have the ability, to lower down to your elbows. Option to stay here, or you can shift your hips forward and back, just opening up that space. If you think about it, oftentimes if you are sitting a lot, your hip flexors get tight because of that range of motion or lack thereof. And you can kind of imagine if you're sitting often, then maybe you might not feel as creative. There's something that happens when you go for a walk. It's like a meditation. It opens up different parts of your brain and allows you to think more creatively about how to solve problems, create solutions, you know. So just think about that. There really is a psychological connection with every part in your body. So when you open and create space in each part, you're releasing something. You may or may not know what it is, but you're releasing something. The body definitely holds trauma and tension from your life. So, all right, we've been here long enough. Walk your palms back towards yourself and press into your feet to allow yourself to scooch your knees towards each other. We'll come back to sit in a thunderbolt. So that's just sitting on your heels. Option to put a block or pillow or bolster under your hips. Roll your shoulders down and back. And just stay here. Breathe into the space that you've created. Inhale, both arms out and up. Press palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale as you lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips. And bow to yourself, thanking yourself for this opportunity to reconnect with your mind, body, and spirit. Namaste. I hope you feel open and creative and flexible now. And I hope that was an enjoyable kind of refreshing class. There is some heat to the class, the chaturangas, you know, so that helps kind of activate and move the energy. And then the stances that actually are meant for the sacral chakra. If you like that, go ahead and like and subscribe for any future videos, especially if you're interested in the chakra sequence. If you feel like anybody else would really enjoy this and or benefit from it, then go ahead and share it. And until next time, namaste.